Orange County, California, with Proactive Sports.
Mel Kiper called you the other day to be the best pure guard in the draft. It's pool. Do you feel like you stand out in that pool?
Yeah, I do. There's a lot of great linemen are here at the combine, and it's an honor to get invited here. But no, I feel like I bring a strong skill set to the table. I feel like I can make a difference wherever I go.
What do you think this week when you guys get in your workouts that you'll play well at?
Sadly, I'm not going to be doing anything this week. Tweaked the hamstring, but just looking forward to working to get back to pro day and then show off the movement versatility I can bring to a team. No. Yeah, just getting building up speed, trying to trim down some body fat, put on some more muscle, work on some functional mobility, and I feel like I've done all that. Yes, sir. I found that. Obviously played there for 4 years in college. Just seemed to click from the get-go. I've been working the last year and a half to broaden that and get some more interior positions down. So feel comfortable at any of the interior three, but obviously played the most snaps at left guard, so comfortable there. I am, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was able to do it whenever we needed it at Michigan. No, fully capable to do it. It took me takes a little bit to snap the ball, but no, not too worried about it. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's been one of the positions I've been working at. I've been working at all three interior spots for the whole training, so absolutely. Yeah, Rashawn and I came in together, so we kind of went through that whole transition phase, with each other, and obviously he was on the edge. When I came in my freshman year, I was playing tackle, so we went against each other a lot. That first camp, but he would come inside once in a while, and we would every time we went against the first defense, especially with what Coach Brown does, moving everybody around. I went against Rashawn all the time, so he's a heck of a player. Love the guy, and wish him nothing but the best up in Green Bay. Sorry, can you? Yeah, it was. It was a good time. He's obviously a tremendous athlete, so I had to use my strength against him, and I think we got the better of each other depending on the day. It seemed like one was going to win the day every single time. There weren't a whole lot of times where we would split it, but no, it was a great battle, and he was a great teammate. Mm-hmm. Limited a little bit. We worked out. It's the same gym up there. When JJ would come back and you'd see him, and Derek was a little before me. TJ and I overlapped in high school, for a year or two. So I'd see him there a little bit, but that was about it. Michigan was just the right spot for me. I was able to go out and see different universities in the Midwest, in the country, and I grew up a Badger fan, grew up loving it. Love the O-line tradition that they had, and grew up watching them. But at the end of the day, Michigan was the right spot for me. Fell in love with the place, and I had the time of my life there. It was the best 4 years of my life, and that was the place for me. Growing up, it was always Joe Thomas. Growing up, he grew up like 20 minutes away from me. Now I just kind of watch for the technique. Zach Martin's a great guy to watch. Always watch him, but no, it's just kind of watch it to try to learn from the guys now. Yeah. I'm trying to make, I try to consider myself one of the more versatile players, being able to do like a wide zone scheme or gap scheme, something like that. I'm trying to appeal myself into that. Obviously at Michigan we came in with that pro style scheme, the gap scheme run game, kind of transitioned into that zone scheme, when Gaddis came and moved into that RPO system. So, I've had the ability to work in both systems, and I feel like I can transition into either one. I think it added a new element to our game as offensive linemen. It's a different system to block in, different angles, different techniques. So being able to do that, it just is another tool that we have now.
How many teams have you had questions so far?
No, it's been a busy couple days. I've met with a lot of them. Had some great meetings with. I've had great meetings with just about all of them. So it's been, like I said, it's been a really busy 2 days. Kind of been a blur, but enjoying every minute of it.
How was that process? Obviously, you're meeting for like 18 minutes, just kind of punching them in. How was that kind of process? How much can you really get into?
You'd be surprised how much you can pack into 18 minutes of it. But no, we get through a lot. We'll get through the background, where you're from, family, all that stuff, and then work into maybe draw up some plays, talk about some scheme, maybe watch some old Michigan film, watch some of their film, ask me about what we would do in this situation, coach me up on how they would do it, and then just talk and just have just normal conversation. So like I said before, I've watched this combine ever since I was a kid. So being able to be here and participate in it, it's been a dream come true. I think teams like the way I play the game, the finishing ability of it. There's some talk and cleaning up some technique stuff, and I appreciate all the critiques I can get. It's essentially free coaching here, absolutely, and it's great to have another set of eyes. But then we just talk how I would fit into the scheme. With that, like I said, with that background style that Michigan had with the pro style, and then with moving into the more zone scheme with Coach Gaddis, a little bit my junior year, more my senior year, just how I'd fit into it. Just consistency and versatility. I can play multiple positions on the offensive line. I'll be there for them every single day. So that's my message, and I feel like that's a good one to sell. I would say the Iowa or Michigan State game from this year. I felt like, as a unit, we did a good job controlling the line of scrimmage there. Especially in that Michigan State game, I think we ran the ball really well. But personally, I felt like those are some games I was really able to finish and dominate the line of scrimmage. And it was one of those games you had a really good feeling knowing you helped the team coming out of it. So. Chase brings a lot of, he's a different animal when coming off the edge there. He's a outstanding pass rusher. So you got to know where he is on the field at all times, and they worked their defense off of him and brought a lot of pressures. And you got to know, how you're going to do that, how you're going to handle the pressure, and also handle Chase Young. I felt like we did a great job, this year in handling that. It was just, obviously the game didn't go our way, but it's. He's a dynamic player. He's got a lot of speed off the edge. Got some great counters in his pass rush. So you really have to be sound in your technique, and you can't abandon it.
Is it just the speed that gets you so many people off the ground?
I think it's his speed off the line that. He's deceptively fast for how big he is. He gets off the ball really well, and when he pops off the ball like that, I think it it can throw an offensive lineman out of his set, and I think that's what. I think that's what he thrives on. And as soon as you turn or something, like I said before, he's got a great counter quick, and he can quick counter on it and cut back inside. So just got to know where it is and stick to your technique.
Going against guys like that in college helps you with your success?
Absolutely. I mean, I think the Big Ten had some outstanding pass rushers this year. I don't know what everyone's ranked, but you had pass rushers up and down the conference. So going up against those guys, week in, week out, they're all future NFL players, and it really, it makes you hone in on your technique and be ready, and then you can transfer that, into the NFL. I feel like I have that ability, absolutely, yeah. That's my goal. That's what I'm working towards every single day, and that's what I'm trying to sell to these teams. We knew each other obviously, he was a Brown Deer kid and had a great career there. We never played each other in anything. Arrowhead and Brown Deer never crossed paths, but absolutely knew who he was. Watched him in the state basketball tournament when he had that great run. So he was a fun player to watch. It's more of a they're asking if I can play center, right guard, just be any of the interior three positions. So it's come up a lot and something I'm absolutely able and willing to do. Could be, absolutely. It's just selling the versatility part. If you need me anywhere, I'll do it. Sorry? In practice, yes. Yeah, in practice, yeah.
After maybe struggling a little bit early in the year, the offensive line for later, there were some 4 guys here. What do you think that kind of says about the program that you guys kind of were improving and have success?
Yeah, we had some issues as an offense early on in the year. We were able to work through some of those, and we were able to take. I felt like when we, as an offensive line, we kind of took the game in our own hands at times and just relied on the run really heavily. And we had 4 guys here at the combine, and that's a huge honor for us. It's something that we've been working on. I couldn't be more proud of our unit to be able to have that kind of representation here. And like you said earlier, turning it around in the season, I felt like we kind of took upon ourselves in our room to carry the load a little bit at times when we were still trying to figure out a new system, and felt like we were able to do that. Like you saw in the Notre Dame game, when we were able to put 300 yards rushing on them and control the line of scrimmage, control the game. So it's games like that show you why we have 4 offensive linemen here.
What does it mean to kind of have 3 other guys who are just here going through this process?
Yeah, I mean it's familiar. Walk into the room and you got 3 of your best buddies sitting there, and you can talk just like you're in Ann Arbor. So makes you relax a lot. Caesar's an incredible athlete. For the size he has, the speed, he can turn on a dime, and he's extremely powerful. And that's just his physical attributes. Mentally, he's, he made all of our calls for us. He's an outstanding player, both physically and mentally. For me, being in these first round talks, I'm thrilled for him, and I think he earned it. Absolutely. I've played next, like you said, to the guy. Worked with the guy for the last 3 years. I was there when he came in, and I've seen everything he's done to get to this point, and I'm very excited for him. Yes, sir. Good to see you.
High-profile guy, high-profile program. Michigan, high-profile guy, high-profile program. How does that prepare you for now the next step?
Like you said, going back to Arrowhead, it was. It was a great school to be at during those 4 years. Had those state title runs. Sadly, couldn't pull out the last 2, but no, I was able to. Like you said, I've always been on teams that have been kind of in that primetime spotlight, and it's just helped with kind of being comfortable in situations like this. Like situations with the media or high pressure situations. I was able to play in 4 state title games in high school and play at Camp Bridle, and then I was able to go to college and play in the Penn State whiteouts, the Michigan-Ohio State games. Sadly, never made it to a Big Ten championship game. I know your Badger fans are going to always hold that one. But I've played in a lot of those big games and some big bowl games, so I feel like that's helped me just stay relaxed and stay true to my game when we get in these high pressure situations.
Big thing for you at this next level? Is that a big thing for a guy who can play your position?
Absolutely. I think it's finding a good fit with a team that's going to use me well, and a team that I can help, in the best possible situation for me. And something I've been trying to sell is, I've had the ability. I came into Michigan when it was a pro-style offense, and then was able there while they switched into more of the zone RPO game. So, I was able to get those two schools of thought down and work on them, for years at each of them. So, I feel like I can be a good fit just about anywhere now.
Ben, of your other 10 Michigan teammates that are here, is there anyone that you think is going to maybe surprise some people this week?
Kalik. I've been working out with him, and he's in better shape than I've ever seen him at Michigan. I think Kalik's going to have an outstanding day whenever he runs. I think that's Saturday, right? Whenever Kalik does his workout, he's going to kill it. So very excited to watch that. Sorry? Yeah. Just informal on it. Like I said, I've got that ability. I just came out of the zone scheme, the wide zone scheme. So going into one of that, I could transition well. But I've had the background in the pro style and the gap scheme runs as well. I feel like that's one of the things that makes me intriguing to teams. I can project well into a variety of systems. So that's what. Yeah, he helped refine our technique. Absolutely. He came in, and that was his big thing that he was working on with us, and we were able to work through that. Especially with these last 2 years and clean up a lot of technique. For me, it came at a perfect time going into junior senior year, getting ready for the NFL. To have someone like him there, and we put in a lot of work for it. He's prepared us for, physically, I feel like for the NFL. Yeah, I slimmed down a little bit. There's more mobility in the zone scheme, obviously. So there's that. I stretched a lot, trying to work on speed and just opening up the hips more, being able to transition and open and run. I feel like that helped me a lot. 3:18 to 25. Somewhere in there is what I played at last year. Felt like that was a good weight for me. John was consistent for us every single time he stepped on the field. You knew what you were getting from him, and I think that's going to be the same way as he goes into the next level as well. Absolutely, John is. John's a competitor. Whenever we would work out, we'd work out together. We would. We would try to push each other in every single way. He was always faster than me, so I was always trying to run to catch him. And then, in the weight room, we would always go back and forth with weights and stuff. And he was a competitor through and through. He's going to do outstanding things in this league. I'm really excited to watch him. And he's one of my best friends from college. So just very excited to see how this all plays out for him.
Hey there, Michigan football fans. Thanks so much for watching the Michigan Football Report. If you haven't done so yet, go ahead and subscribe to Chat Sports, college football, NFL, NBA. New videos every single day. The #1 sports network on YouTube. Ready for another Michigan football video? I got you hooked up right here.